Other big news, Raiola goes down and fractured his fibula, I believe, so he's out for the season. Happened late-ish in the game yesterday. I should know the exact time it happened, but I don't remember. And so USC wins at Nebraska 21-17. Pretty heartbreaking the way it happens. Nebraska's trying to drive to win, and on 4th and 1 on the handoff, the running back clips the QB's knee and just stumbles and falls behind
Emmett
the line.
Johnson.
Yep, Emmett Johnson. Just
It was really unfortunate because is it Teely? Is that I have him in my notes as well. Is that his name? Well, I say I have it in my notes. But yeah, the backup comes in, and it's just one of those things that you don't have the reps with the first string running back to be more comfortable with how he's going to move and that handoff and executing that, which is really tough for Nebraska. But for USC, they still have a lot left in front of them. I don't think the Big Ten championship is likely/doable just because Indy and Ohio State, I feel like, are both going to finish undefeated and kind of walk into that championship game, both 8-0 in Big Ten play, or 9, whatever, how many games they play. But USC does still have a very good chance at a at-large spot. They've got big games left in their schedule at Oregon, and then UCLA and Iowa. So those are 3 games that you could very easily lose. Iowa, some people are ranking top 25. They cannot throw the ball. I don't know how many passing touchdowns they're up to, but we've been keeping track of that because we picked the quarterback to throw under 10.
Do you guys want to guess?
I believe he's at 4.
Is he at 4 passing touchdowns?
Yes, 4.
All right. So the buying him to go under 10 is looking really good. And then UCLA is just a weird team that could go off after finding their head coach. They've played differently in games, but USC has their playoff. I would say if they go undefeated, like they control their own destiny. Talking about Georgia Tech and controlling their own destiny, I would say a 10-2 USC team with wins over Michigan, and then also Oregon and Iowa. I would say that's a playoff team. So
yeah, more likely than not.
The real question kind of comes down to
They'll be in a debate. I wouldn't guarantee it.
No, okay, that's fair. But the real question. Oh, imagine a 10-2 USC, 10-2 Oregon. If one makes it, one like that'd be interesting.
Like Notre Dame being at 10-2 and them having a loss to that hurts them there.
Yeah.
But the Oregon debate, then I think we're gonna have probably 2 SEC teams that are sitting there at 10-2, the 2 that don't make the SEC championship.
Yeah.
So and then still like you could have multiple bids from the ACC. So nothing is guaranteed, and honestly, like if you tried to like just go down the path and look, it would get really jumbled up really quickly. I tried to do that earlier because I wanted to send a buy and sell for like SEC teams. And then I realized that there were way too many
variables.
Yeah, too many possible outcomes to even really think.
You don't
about
have the Doctor Strange time stone benefit.
Sadly,
in terms of that.
As a gambler, I would love to have that. Although that would hopefully be outlawed. Hopefully Doctor Strange can't gamble in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Probably not. He takes his abilities and privileges in the magic world pretty seriously.
Too, for him.
I completely agree.
Another thing about that USC, it's another win where Lincoln Riley, it's not his big win, right? He still doesn't really have that feather in his cap. Winning like the big game, losing to USC, I think. Do they lose to? Was it?
They lost to Notre Dame and Illinois. Both on the road.
Not USC. He's at UC. Losing to Notre Dame and then losing to Illinois on the road, still doesn't have like the big win.
Sure.
And that's kind of the thing is he was coming into this season kind of you got to win this year or you're out. And he really wanted to win because I think right now they've got the number 1 or the number 2 recruiting class for 2020.
Uno.
Number 1 for 2026. And I remember in our preview, I think when I made the title for our preview video, I was like, can Lincoln Riley survive till reinforcements arrive? Right now, it's setting up really well. But like I said, they've got 3 tough games left in the schedule with Oregon, Iowa, at Oregon. So that's kind of like his chance, right?
Sure.
To prove that
Oregon game, I think, tells the story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you can go win at Oregon, even if you drop a game to Iowa, I think that if you've got that,
I don't think you're allowed to drop that one.
if you go 9-3, you're gonna be the coach next year. If you beat Oregon and go 9-3, that's my point.
I think you would have to lose all 3 to not be the coach next year, to be honest.
Yeah, but I'm saying that like the Oregon game could be like like he could elevate the program next year.
Absolutely.
Because the biggest thing in college football right now, and I saw someone say it really well earlier today, is boosters really control the sport now. If your boosters are out, they can go to the athletics at the AD and be like, hey, we're closing off the purse, like
we
we're
don't
tightening
want
the
Mark
purse string.
Stoops.
And they can't do
Thank
anything
Frederick,
because
man.
they need money. Like they can't function. They can't recruit. They can't make improvements to the stadium without the money that the donors give. And so
Sadly,
it is sad. But so if the donors are out on Lincoln Riley, it doesn't matter if he goes 9-3. Because if he loses to Oregon and the donors decide as a group that hey, he can't win the big games, he hasn't got us our big win yet. It's kind of been questionable since Caleb Williams graduates and goes to the NFL.
It was questionable with Caleb Williams, man,
Right.
especially that last year.
Yeah, I mean they had that one year where they went 11-2, I think, with Caleb and missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's my point, is that like I would certainly not fire him if they lose that if he loses that Oregon game, but there might be a decision amongst the donors and the high rollers that this guy isn't best for the future of our program because we think we can be better.
Yeah, I will say the number 1 recruiting class helps him have a leash with the donors, I'm sure.
For sure.
Because they're probably very on board and very integral and like responsible for that number 1 recruiting class.
Yeah.
So it'd have to be a pretty big, I think, flip for them to go from being bought in enough to help them get the number 1 recruiting class to LOL JK.
Yeah.